Tuesday. I've been a little bit MIA because I was kind of recovering from the trip yesterday and I had a lot to do, lots of washing and picking up around the house and everything. So I am just now hopping back on. It's about 11:30 and I have gotten out of the house because I had an eBay order to send off and I'm getting some gas. Right now gas here is, whoa, it's gone back up. $2.47. Ah, what happened to $2.17 and $1.99? Huh? What happened, Trump? Anyway, let's see how much it cost me. $30.49, and yes, I want a receipt because I am doing that fetch thing. Oh, it is windy today. My goodness. We've got a cold front moving in, and we've got some possible snow coming on Friday. And so it's Tuesday, and the weathermen won't really say what it's going to do particularly because it's too far out. But I'm thinking that, you know, this may be an event. We'll see. All right, so since I'm out and I'm at the Sefco where I'm getting gas, I am going to go in and get a big lotto ticket. I don't like play the lottery. I don't go gambling. I don't go to casinos or anything like that. But occasionally I will do a ticket because somebody's got to win. And Lord, you know that I would use that money for good. I don't need a big house. I don't have to have a fancy car. I just would like to be comfortable. And I would like to not have to worry about my old age taken care of. I don't want to live with anybody. I don't want anybody to take care of me. And if I had to go to some sort of facility or home, I would like to have enough money to, you know, go there comfortably without worrying about it. And then, of course, leave a good amount to my family. That would be wonderful. And take care of them after I'm not here. So those are the thoughts. Good thoughts, I hope. I never win. I think one time I won $12 off of one of the big lotteries. But that's rare. Rare. It's usually nothing. So actually, I'm contributing to somebody else's wealth. I am. Like I said, I don't do it much. This year I've done it more than I usually do. I don't know why. There's just this thing in me. I think because everything's getting so much higher. And just like even gas, what happened? We were supposed to be $1.99 and now it's all the way back up to $2.47 or $2.27 if you have a car. Diesel is $2.92 here. I don't know. Anyway. Up, and up, the prices go. So yeah, it would be nice to have something to fall back on. All right, let's go get this ticket and go home because I need to pay. So anyway, I'm one of these weird people that when my gas tank gets half full or maybe just a little bit below that, I go fill up with gas. Is that smart or not? I don't know. It makes me always feel like I don't pay quite as much for gas if I don't go to an empty tank. It's a head thing, you know. All right, so I went in and I got my lottery tickets, and one of them is called Powerball. And let's see if it even tells what it's up to. Cash value option is $95,200. Oh, that's good. That would work. And then the Mega Millions is $113,500 for the cash value. You know, it always looks better when they tell you what the whole thing is. And I never do these. I mean, like probably 2 or 3 times a year. But I did a $5 one of these where you get $200,000 is the top prize. That would solve a lot of problems. Take care of some bills. Maybe do some house updating. That would be kind of neat. My poor husband had to have a root canal yesterday, and I meant to talk about that. I don't think I ever did. So anyway, he's got some dental things approaching. So he got the root canal done, and then he's going to have a crown, I think, on top of that. I don't know, I can't remember. And maybe another crown somewhere else, and some cavities to fill. My husband is not good about going to the dentist. Suzanne and I go every year for our cleaning, and then I might be every other year having to have something done. She usually has to go every single year and have some sort of dental work done. But anyway, you know how expensive that is. So that would be helpful to take care of some of that. Anyway, we had such a wonderful trip with my sister. I haven't quite gotten over it yet. It was just a lot of fun, and but it's back to life and working and cleaning up and doing. So yeah, let's go home and I'll show you my progress on the Alice in Wonderland denim jacket. So we had mega mail today for some reason, and I'm gonna check my little ticket real quick. I know this is awful. I don't know why I always feel kind of guilty about playing the Texas lottery. It just makes me feel weird when I do it, but I'm gonna check it and we'll see what we get. This is exactly why I tell myself not to play. No winner, not even $1. Won away several times, but nothing. Oh well. All right, I got through my mail, and I wanted to show you something that I ordered. This is called a dry brush, and it is used for lymphatic distribution throughout your body. In other words, you just have to go read about it or look up a YouTube video about dry brushing. And actually, my chiropractor suggested this to me because my left foot had been swelling, and it's down a whole bunch more. I was afraid that the trip to Dallas would really make my feet swell, but I did wear my compression socks, which I absolutely hate. In the evening, I can hardly wait to pull those things off, but it did help. And the dry brushing, it's weird. You just literally brush your legs and anywhere where you're having some swelling issues, and do this nightly before you shower. And it's amazing how it makes your legs and arms, or wherever you want to try it. And I did my feet and my legs below my knees. That's where I have my problems, is in the ankle area. So the person that I watched, the video that I watched, recommended a certain type of brush, and of course it's pricey. This one is I'll show you, Kate McLeod, I guess that's how you say it, and it is specifically called the dry brush. I can't tell you exactly what it was. It was an Amazon purchase, and the price changes all the time. So anyway, look it up and see if you can find it. The bristles need to be stiff enough that you can feel it, but not so stiff that it tears your skin, of course. You want it to be soft enough on your skin that, you know, it doesn't hurt. And I was just using a regular, like, round brush that I used for my hair long ago. I wasn't currently using it on my hair. I just had it in the back of a drawer, and the bristles were very soft, and it worked okay. But I thought, I'm gonna get the official thing and see if it really works. Now, I did not dry brush last night because I wasn't having any issues, but today when I sit down and work on Suzanne's jacket, I'm probably gonna swell a little bit. So I try to keep my feet up so that I don't swell. Y'all, this is just the process of aging. I used to never have problems like this, but you know, as you age, and because of the heart thing, my heart doctor has always told me that the blood pools down in my ankle and foot area, and that's why, a lot of the reasons why I walk, because I want to keep that blood flow, circulation going. And this is supposed to stimulate that circulation so that it keeps the blood from pooling in places where it doesn't need to stay. My heart, my system does not pump up like it's supposed to, and this is supposed to stimulate that pumping of the blood. So lymphatic drainage is what it's for. That's the official thing. So if you've never heard about it, if you're curious about it, if you have a little trouble with swelling, go check it out, because I have had some success. You know, I have a video about castor oil, and that I topically use castor oil every night. So search up that video, or go look at a video on YouTube about castor oil. That has also helped me tremendously, not only with my skin, but with just general feeling. It helps. Castor oil is a natural, it pulls stuff out of your body, and it's wonderful. If you've never heard about it, do some research about castor oil. Do some research about dry brushing. It really is cool. All right, let's go look at Suzanne's jacket. All right, here's where I'm at today. You've seen the lower portion of the jacket. You've seen what I've done here. So now I'm working on Mr. Cheshire Cat. And he was a challenge, y'all. He was a challenge. And I'm still not quite satisfied with all of him. So I'm going to do some tweaking a little bit. But I didn't want him just to be hanging out like everything else is going to be as if it was floating in space, which is why Alice is falling down the hole. That was Suzanne's request, for her to be falling. So, yeah, everything is just kind of falling, and it's just around and around. But I didn't want Cheshire Cat to just float. So I thought, let's go ahead and put him on a branch. And I've got to kind of tweak how I've got him sitting. I think I need a little bit thicker part of the branch below his body. But anyway, I found a really cool image that showed a tree that had kind of whimsical effects to it. So that's what I decided to choose in making the tree branch. So that's what I'm working on right now. We're going to work on this branch, and we're going to tweak Cheshire just a teeny. I always put that little white dot in the eye. That's what makes a creature sort of come to life. Even in White Rabbit's eye, there's a white dot to give them a real effect. That's the reflection in the eye. You know, our eyes reflect light as well because they are damp, and so that's what makes that reflection show up. Anyway, that's what I want to work on today, and then I will move over to the walrus and the oysters, the doorknob, and a little frame of tulips. So, all right, we're going to get started here in just a second. To show you, when I was telling you about ordering in the winter, trying to get all the sales in, of an extra percentage off of items, clothing, you know, just all sorts of stuff. And I told you I had ordered from Macy's, and they didn't have my favorite blue towels. The blue slate was not available, and probably won't be available for a long time. I think it's really popular. I decided to go with a tan, and I thought I could use tan in the autumn time. And I prefer a bath sheet versus a bath towel. So these are really, really large, and they wrap around you wonderfully. You know, when you get out of the shower, it's chilly, and you just want to wrap up for just a minute before you towel off or dry off. And so these work really well. So these are from Macy's. They're called the Hotel Collection, and they are so nice. Let me see if I can show you the tag. Now, these were an extra 40% off of their sale price. And y'all, that was good, because the regular price of a hand towel is $50. So it was on sale for like, I don't know, they were almost half price and then another 40% off of that. And that doesn't happen but a couple times a year. So watch for Macy's if you need some good towels. And the bath sheet, y'all, oh my word, the retail price is $100. That's the bath sheet, not the bath towel. So it was a percentage off and then an extra 40% off. And then even the hand towel or the hand washcloths, I would have to tear in these to show you how much they are. Just a second. The retail price of a washcloth is, goodness, $26. Again, that wasn't 40% off of this price. It was 40% off of the sale price. So that let me get a whole series of towels for less than $150. Because if you added all this up, man, it's like, well, I'm not even going to add it up. It makes me sick. But anyway, if you like a nice towel, check out the Hotel Collection from Macy's. They are amazing and super soft, and they last a long time. Now, I also told you that I order 2, 4, 6 extra washcloths to go with our bath sheets and 1 hand towel, because my husband never uses a hand towel. I'm the only one that uses it. So there's no sense in ordering 2 to complete this set, because we're going to be the only ones using them anyway. So I ordered that many extra washcloths so that these towels, they'll last me, and I am not kidding you, they will last me a good 4 or 5 years. I know that sounds weird, but we're not that hard on stuff. And I wash towels twice a week. And I don't know, it's just the quality of them lasts so well, but the washcloths wear out much faster. I had my set of blue slate ones. I know I had them over 5 years. That's ridiculous. And they were coming apart on the sides, which is very unusual because they don't come apart. But anyway, it was time for new towels. So I got some ice blue ones that I will use for spring and summer. And then I'm gonna have these for autumn and possibly winter. I have some navy blue ones in my bathroom right now that are just yucky. I need to get rid of them. And like I said in the other video, I'm not sure I would recommend navy. When you wash it, it does fade a little bit. Every brand I've ever had of the navy color fades. So, but there was a beautiful slate blue. It was a medium blue that did not fade. It was wonderful. And so I'm sure going to look for that and hope that I can get that sale. And then I will have replaced my towels that I desperately needed to replace with a great sale added to that. So I think I'm finally finished with all of my winter sale merchandise that I always look for after Christmas. Now it means that, you know, you're spending a little money after Christmas, which was just hard because after Christmas spending, the money is not there very good. But it's worth it to me to get some of these items that I've had in my other videos to, you know, not have to worry about purchasing at a price that is a whole lot more. Anyway, I'm happy with them and glad that they were on sale. I wanted to share with you before I go paint. I am big on religious people to listen to, and one of my favorite people is Dr. David Jeremiah. If you've never heard him, oh y'all, you've got to go listen to him. He is magnificent. He's in his 80s, and even if you go back to his earlier sermons, you will not be sorry. He is just easy to listen to, backs everything that he says up with scriptures from the Bible, and has written many books that are absolutely wonderful reads. So because I am in his, I joined the mailing list and so forth, and I do give to his foundation called Turning Point, And it is not, y'all, Turning Point USA. That was that other guy. This is Turning Point. And this is this magazine that comes out monthly called Turning Points. And it's a devotional and magazine about various things. And this is the February issue. And I'm behind on some of them, but they are a great read, especially in summer when I go out and sit on my deck. Wonderful stories, wonderful messages, and wonderful insights and scripture pointing to, and just lots of things, question and answer stuff. He is a magnificent man, and very, very learned. He's got doctor in front of his name. Not that that means anything, but he is a extreme Christian. And so if you enjoy that sort of thing, I highly recommend. I listen to a lot of podcasts when I'm painting in there by myself. I like to listen to Dr. J.B. Hickson. He is fantastic. I listen to Prophecy Watchers. I listen to Understanding the Times. I like Greg Laurie. I enjoy Jack Hibbs. There's just a lot of good ministers out there that I think are teaching what we need to know and what we need to be prepared for. And many of these preachers believe, as I do, in the rapture and the coming of the Lord someday when he's ready to come. And it just gives me a good background and keeps me kind of grounded in my faith, because we all need something to keep us planted where we need to be. So if you are interested in any of those, or if you need the names of them, just let me know, and I can put them in my description box. Just let me know. I don't have them in there right now. I need to do that. I need to fix it. I'll think about doing that, so that if anybody wants to listen along and you just want something to listen to when you're driving in the car, you're going on a trip, or you're sitting down working on something that doesn't require you needing to concentrate, like me. I concentrate, but when I'm painting, I need to listen to something. I don't want to be in total silence. So anyway, that's what I was going to share with you today. All right, finally, let's go paint. Okay, y'all. I think I finished the Cheshire Cat and the tree around him. And the inspiration that I got from the picture that was my inspiration picture, which I guess I could show you in a minute. Anyway, it didn't do the tree in a normal way, but I kind of like that, because then it doesn't look like a true tree. It's more of a mystical tree, So anyway, tree's done. And then I worked on the walrus playing his cane, which I guess is really a flute, and then the little oysters that are dancing around him as he plays. And the inspiration from that came right there, that particular picture, which I'm not sure what this is from. It could be an Etsy grouping. I don't know, but I liked the way he was in this picture, so that became my inspiration for doing mine. And it is currently drying, so it's not quite totally ready as far as color. The value of the color is kind of off a little bit, but yeah. Here was the inspiration tree for the Cheshire Cat. Now, I did not like the Cheshire Cat because it wasn't true colors from the movie, but I did love the mystical tree. Sorry, my light's kind of interfering there. So I liked that mystical tree, and see how they did the bark? It's just like little strokes, and I kind of like that. And not a ton of leaves, just a few. So anyway, that's where I got the inspiration for doing my portion of tree. There's not going to be, I didn't want a bunch of tree, just a little bit there. Okay, I think walrus is done, And the next thing I'm going to move to is the doorknob, and I already have him drawn in. He's right here. He's going to fit right in there. You can see my marker where I went around the edge of it, but just to give you an idea, that's where I drew it on paper, and that always gives me kind of a guide as I'm drawing on fabric. And then the next thing I'm going to do is a framed piece of art that has tulips in that little oval right there. So when I finish with that, this back section of the denim jacket will be complete, and then I will move to the side panels, which are right here. So the back of her jacket is going to be completely filled. You know, I almost thought about just not doing the side panels and just leaving this, but I can't. I've just got to fill it because there are so many characters. I couldn't even put the characters on the front if I wanted to, the ones that are left over. So I might as well just go ahead and fill those side panels and get it all ridiculously done. This is supposed to be ridiculously covered. I mean, this is the Festival of the Arts at everything in the Festival of the Arts is over the top. So I wanted her jacket to literally be over the top. It has been so much fun, great fun. I've enjoyed every minute of it. It's of course been time consuming, but that's okay. That's what it needs to be. So many more plans for it, and yeah, it is coming along. All right, I'm kind of hungry and I'm a little bit tired. So it's about 4 o'clock, so I think I'm going to take a break, go eat with my husband, watch a little Kyle Paulo. We watch him because he goes to Disney World every single day. He sometimes also goes over to Disneyland, and he's also a cruise taker, which I will never get to do that. I will never get to go on a Disney cruise. That is out of the box, too expensive. Unless somebody sent me there, or I want a trip or something like that, which is not going to happen. But anyway, we like to watch him because he updates everybody on what's going on in Disney World, closings, favorite foods and restaurants, pricing, ride updates, and so forth. So yeah, that's what we like to watch while we're eating our supper, which is between lunch and dinner, as you know, or I could say let's be lunch and supper, or you can say lunch and dinner and call it dinner. I know you're tired of hearing me say that, but I think it's kind of fun. Anyway, I'm hungry. Let's go eat. Good morning, everyone. It is a Wednesday. I've been up since about 7:15, got everything done in the house. It was sheet washing day, and I got ready, put on some new house clothing. This is a sweatshirt that I picked up at the California airport, the John Wayne airport, whenever we went to Disneyland a few years ago. Things kind of run together and I can't even remember the years that we go. But anyway, when we went, I picked this up and I really like it. It was so cold that day when we were coming home, and I always get really cold in the airports and on the airplanes. So this traveled home with me and I have enjoyed wearing it since. So today I need to run to the grocery store. I'm going to try in a couple of days. I found a recipe for jambalaya. I've never made it. My husband loves sausage. I do not. I do not like sausage. I don't like pork of any kind. I will eat bacon if I have to. I don't just, buy it and love it, but I will eat it. I cannot stand ham. I'm sorry. I'm not a pork girl, and chicken and even hamburger meat is starting to not taste great. I will have an occasional steak, but I'm just not a very big meat person, so I kind of have to get my proteins from other things. But I thought it would be fun to try this recipe because my husband likes sausage so much, and I can kind of pull that out and give it to him and from my bowl if I don't want it. But I know that the sausage will give it a good flavor. So we are getting ready to have a major weather event. We're slated to have up to 4 to 6 inches of snow. I've been waiting for this. But of course, I don't want anything to freeze, and I don't want people to have trouble on the highways. I don't want to, in any of the weather to cause wrecks or inconveniences for people who are working and traveling. So I pray that it will be a good snow. We are going to get down to 1 degree above zero one of these days coming up, and like 4 degrees the next day. So we've really kind of needed this to clean out our area and get rid of some germs and weeds and various creatures that need to die because we have not had anything but warm temperatures since summer. We haven't been very cold this year. December was amazing. It was in the 60s and 70s. So it's time to get a little cold, and I really enjoy the winter weather. So it's time to have some. So we're gonna go to the grocery store in a little bit, but I would like to have pizza today. I'm just really hungry for pizza. So I'm gonna order a pizza from our place down here. It's called Panther Pizza. It's really good. And we will have that as leftovers through the weekend, maybe even for football. And I think I'll probably do my jambalaya tomorrow, and we'll have that for a couple days or so. Anyway, at this point, it is 9:30, and I just fixed my breakfast. I went out to feed Dusty the cat. I'll put up a picture of him right here. He's not friendly, very stoic, but he does appear occasionally, and I know he's eating the food that we're putting out. So I actually need to get him some more food and decide whether or not I'm going to have the sweet girl that that used to watch Oreo. I've got to decide whether I want her to go ahead and come and feed Dusty, because I don't want him to go away while we're gone for 7 days coming up in February. So anyway, we're going to get prepared for this winter storm coming up, and I will continue my painting on Suzanne's jacket. So I'm going to go have my breakfast real quick, watch a little YouTube, and then I'll get started. Here's my breakfast for the day. I get a quarter of a cinnamon roll from the lady who makes cinnamon rolls here in town. They are absolutely fantastic. Some strawberries and blueberries, a little granola, and some yogurt. This is my staple everyday breakfast that I really enjoy. All right, I am back from the grocery store, and here is my haul. I'll show you what all I got. And then I kind of had a thought, since we're going to be snowed in possibly for a few days and I'm going to be cooking, I thought I just want to get pizza today. So I got some pizza down here at our local place, and then there was a food truck, and they have hamburgers and breakfast burritos and things like that. So I thought, okay, let's have some options here while we're snowed in. So I'll show you what I got from those places. Gerb's Grub, and they make really good breakfast burritos. So I got my husband a sausage, and I might just have a bite of it. I don't like sausage, so I'll let him enjoy that on the days off for snow. And then I got him a double cheeseburger with onion rings. Doesn't that look delicious? And their hamburgers are really good. And then I got me a single burger, cheeseburger, and I just like to have potato chips, so I didn't get me any french fries or onion rings or anything. And then here's the beautiful pizza. This one is pepperoni with extra pepperoni. Now they put their pepperoni underneath. When I do a pizza, I put my cheese below and my pepperonis on top. But it doesn't really matter to me. I like it either way, but it is really good. And then this is a supreme pizza, and it's just loaded with all sorts of goodies. And this is the kind that my husband likes. The pepperoni is for me, and the supreme is for him. But we do trade back and forth a little bit and share our pizzas. All right, here's what came from the grocery store. I like the Viva paper towels, so I got 3 rolls there. I looked at the yogurt, and I've been using that Greek yogurt that kind of doesn't have much flavor, and it's 0 calories. I'm kind of done with it for a little while, so I'm going to go back to Yoplait. It's 150 calories per serving, where the fat-free was 140 calories, and I thought, okay, just let's move to the kind that actually tastes good. And then I got myself some conversation hearts to just munch on here and there. My husband loves Cheetos, so I get him the party size. I got a small loaf of bread to make a grilled cheese sandwich in case we want one. For the recipe that I'm making, the jambalaya, I had to have some celery, so I'm going to get this cut up. Some of it will go in that, and some of it will go in the freezer for future recipes. The microwave-ready popcorn, the microwave-ready bacon is fabulous if you've never tried it. It's kind of expensive. It's about $9, but it saves you from having to clean up a mess because you just put it in the microwave and the mess stays within the zip bag. So I get those for occasional bacon. A bell pepper goes in my recipe that's coming up. Colby Jack cheese I was going to need for a Mexican recipe. I just got one apple, and these are, let's see, the honey crisp apples. I love the honey crisp. They had their avocados on sale for 99 cents. They're usually $2 a piece. I got some sausage for this recipe that I'm going to do, the jambalaya. And then I got chicken is supposed to go in that too, but I'm going to separate these. There are 4 breasts in here, but I'm going to separate them 2 and 2. Some strawberries that didn't look great, but maybe they'll be okay. And I remember I put those in a jar, a glass jar with, you know, like a canning lid so that they stay fresher. Another container of blueberries. I've got one more left, and I don't want to run out before I get back to the store. I got some oranges. They had 4 for $1, so I got those. I needed some Italian tomatoes for this recipe, so I got 2 cans of those. Some Grand's biscuits, because there's another chicken recipe that my niece was telling us about that requires biscuits on top, so I got some of those. A can of cream of mushroom soup, you always can use that for recipes. Some evaporated milk that had gone out of expiration like a year, so I needed another one of those for when I need it at some point. I needed this for some recipe. I can't remember what it was for, but this keeps pretty good, so I'm just going to keep that in my pantry. Now, I hate okra. I absolutely hate it, but the okra goes in the jambalaya. So maybe if it's pickled, I'll be okay with it. But I normally will not touch okra, but we'll see how that goes. Some whole milk, some oat milk for Suzanne when she comes to make her coffees. And then we're almost out of chocolate syrup, so I got some dark chocolate for also coffee making. Some chicken broth. I use these like they're going out of style, so I got 2 containers of those. I got some yellow cornmeal, because remember I put this every time I brown a hamburger or sausage. I put a couple tablespoons of cornmeal in it, and it makes my meat come out beautifully. So I was needing some of that. I got some of these little plastic cups for snacks. I needed some dental floss. I don't know how I'm going to feel about that brand, but we'll try it. We'll give it a try. Some cling wrap, some quart freezer bags, and then some gallon freezer bags. I was almost out of those. So this is my haul for today. It's not giant, but it still costs about $150, just this much. So yeah, we should be pretty well stocked up for the coming snow. Well, good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, and I have been up doing lots of things this morning since about 7:15. We are definitely in for some weather. According to the forecast, we could have anywhere from 4 to 9 inches. Oh my goodness. So I think we're going to hunker down and be in for the weekend, which is good because this will give me lots of time to work on Suzanne's denim jacket. I finished some things last night. I worked until about 8 o'clock after we had our dinner. And then this morning I didn't get started till around noon. So I have been doing some drawing. In fact, I'm thinking about drawing the other side before I start painting. That way I don't have to go back and forth and back and forth. But anyway, I'll show you what I finished last night and where I am headed. So last night was Dinah. I worked on Dinah, Alice's cat, and it was okay. It took me a little time on her. And then I did the smoking caterpillar. I don't know what his name is. Does he have a name? I don't know. But anyway, there were several images of him, and I finally chose, and I'll show you in just a minute, the image that was here. And there's just a little slight haze of purple underneath the mushroom. And that is intentional. I didn't make a mistake or anything. It's supposed to be a haze of purple. And then you can see his little smoke rings going up here. The body I couldn't get quite like I saw in the photograph or the picture, but I got as close as I could be. And I noticed there were some little rocks down on the ground, so I went ahead and added those pebbles. So now I am ready to go to Tweedledee and Tweedledum. And I only found the same picture over and over again on the web. So it's always of them holding their little fingers up. So I don't know what that's for. I don't remember why they held up their fingers. Because now it's been a few weeks since I've seen the movie. But anyway, they will be next. And I have their outlines ready and done and cut out. And somewhat spaced so that I can tell what I'm doing. I can't do full details. It would be a waste of time because I'm going to have to do full details here anyway. So I just get kind of the outline of them and the placement as to where I want them to go. Here's the picture that I found on the web of the little caterpillar. His details are much more than mine, and I need to also add the cord that goes on his smoking machine. I haven't got that done. And I don't know how I'm going to do it. I guess I'll do it with, paint. I started to think I might use a marker, but no, I'm going to be consistent with my paint. I'll just have to do it super, super thin. But anyway, I can use my marker, my skinny marker. This is what I use to draw everything off anyway. A Sharpie fine point. So I'll get that going and then I can fill it in with paint. I think it's like chocolate brown is what it looks like. I told Suzanne I've had a lot of fun mixing colors, and I threw away the plate that I had last night. I should have kept it and showed you. That plate is, it is totally filled with color. Well, let me go see if I can find it. This should be right on top of it. Here is my Miss for the Work plate. I think it was so covered that I thought I'm gonna have to get a new one today. So yeah, I did a lot of mixing. Anyway, that's where I'm headed today. Forgive the hair. I just had to get it up and out of my face as I was painting today. It was really bothering me yesterday, and I'm not due to wash it until tomorrow, so I just wanted it out of my face. So anyway, let's go get painting. Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, and I have been up and going since 7:15. And I needed to wash my hair today, so I got that all done. And my hair's been such a mess that I had to do a little bit of straightening and curling today, because our weather is starting to come in. So I guess you've probably heard across the bottom, well, I should say probably the mid-southeast, from the middle of the country. I think it also includes New Mexico though. So from New Mexico, Texas, across and up to Tennessee. I know all of this area. I think my husband said there's about 38 states involved in this winter storm. So we have been preparing for it. We've charged all of our external chargers, and I have an anchor like this. We've charged those. I also have one of these. I ordered off of Amazon. It is a solar charger, and I just leave it out every day and let it get the sun that it needs in case we ever need it to charge. We sometimes have some power shortages and outages, so it's kind of nice to have that. So we've done all of that, and because the temperatures are going to get down to the single digits and almost to zero, our city has asked us to run the water in our faucets, do a trickle of the water, and we were supposed to go out, and my husband did this yesterday. He covered all of the external water spigots with those things that you buy at Home Depot that you've put over a faucet and it protects it during the cold season. So he did all of the faucets. I think we've got 3 outdoor faucets. He also put down his winterizer fertilizer / grass mixture. He's trying to get the grass back in shape again. We were pretty dry towards the end of August into September and October and November and December. We didn't have much moisture, so he's tried to get that going again. So we have been winterizing. And so today, because the temperature started out at 33, and now it's 23. So the temperature's gone down from 7, it's 10 now. So it's already dropped 10 degrees in just a couple of hours, 2 or 3 hours. Whew. So it's a little bit windy. That's always not good either. We have our garage located on the north side. So that means when these north storms come in and we get any snow, it accumulates outside of our garage door and we can't get out. We're supposed to have between 6 to 12 inches of snow. We're hoping it's going to be more towards 4. 4 would be fine to deal with, and I would love it. So the worst part of the storm is supposed to be tomorrow. Today, it's supposed to just move in and maybe start a little bit. So they went ahead and had school in this part of the area. A lot of the area schools, though, closed because I guess they're just taking precautions. But our school decided to go until 12:30. So my husband will be at school until then. And what have I been up to? I'm still working on Suzanne's jacket. I'll show you that in just a minute. I also thought, I have never made jambalaya. So I looked up a recipe on All Recipes. That's one of my favorite places to go look for new recipes. And I'm going to try it. I do not like sausage, but I know sausage gives it a great flavor. So it has chicken and sausage in it. I'll pop it on the screen if I think about it and the recipe. And yeah, we're going to try it. I've never tried it before. And of course it has rice in it. So I know my husband will love it because he loves sausage, all kinds of pork stuff. And I'm just not a pork person. I wish I could be, but I'm just not. Nah. It's a texture thing. I don't know what it is. Anyway, it's also supposed to have okra sometimes. I got pickled okra, and I'll put a little bit of it in it. I'm not going to put much, but we'll see what that does to it. And it also called for, I don't know if I'm saying this right. Let me spell it first. File with a swash over the E. And is it filet powder, which is supposed to create a roux. So I looked up online. If you don't have and can't find filet powder, File, what can you do? So there's 4 solutions, one of them being cornstarch and water, and the other being flour and butter. And I've done flour and butter to thicken my queso before, so we'll choose one of those to thicken the sauce since I can't find that powder, and we'll see how it goes. So right now, I am cooking the chicken. It's been on since 8 o'clock, so it's been in there a couple of hours. I'll show you what it looks like. I'm also getting my breakfast ready. I want to get that done so that I can move on to other things. But here's what the chicken looks like. Seasoned with Cajun seasoning, and I just have chicken broth in there to get it to break up really well. So I'm going to let this cook until it breaks up, and then I'm going to saute the ingredients. I think it's green bell pepper, onion, celery. I think that's all the vegetables, and then you know, some seasonings. I'm not sure. I can't remember what the seasonings. Suzanne's going to do it too. She's going to make jambalaya since she's stuck in today too. And hers recipe called for oregano. Mine did not, but I may put a dash of oregano in there because I know that would be really good. I like oregano. All right, let's get this breakfast done, and let me quickly go show you what I've accomplished on the denim jacket. I have to use my iPad as a resource guide, so I have my surge protector plug-in system going here because I have to keep it plugged in. My iPad is the old large iPad, and it's about to be on its last legs, so I have to charge it the whole time that I'm using it, which is not good, I know, on things, but anyway, that's what I've had to do. All right, here we go. Let me move this stuff out of the way so you can see. All right, I have little Dinah, the cat. I think I showed you that the other day that I finished. Yesterday I worked on Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and I will tell you they are not easy because trying to get twins and make them look right, which I don't know if I succeeded or not, but there we go. There they are, finished and completed. You already saw the caterpillar and the rest of the jacket in the middle. So now I am headed over to this other side, and I have the queen cut out and ready to go. I just need to trace her outside on. And remember, I'm reminding you that I hand draw these. I don't want you to think I'm cheating. I don't trace or anything. So I hand draw them, cut them out, go around them so that I can get them spaced correctly and to be the right size for the areas that they're going to cover. So the queen's going here, 2 cards are going here, and the small Painting the Roses red heart-shaped tree is going to go up there on the top. And when I get through with those, which I hope that I can get through with those today, we'll see, then I'll go up to the top and do the flower part. And then we're going to be ready to go to the front. So this is what I've accomplished so far. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you think that it's way too much stuff. I don't know. We just, Suzanne and I talked about it. I wanted it to be kind of over the top for her, since we are going to have the blessing, I'm going to call it a blessing, of going one more time to Disney World. And this time we're going to get to see Festival of the Arts. And if you've been with my channel, I know you're sick of hearing about it. I'm sorry that I'm repeating myself. It's kind of a big deal for us because we do have to save greatly for this trip. Disney World is ridiculously, I think, overpriced. I mean, I know there's a lot there. I know it costs a lot to run it. I realize all that. It is so expensive for families to go. So we've been saving for about, I guess, going on 2 years maybe. Anyway, this was my suggestion that we go instead of at Christmas when it's so super crowded. Never really have wanted to go spring break. We used to go long ago when Suzanne was still in high school and college. We would go in the summer as soon as she would get out of school in May. That was a pretty good time except for the heat, but the crowds were fairly low until everybody got out of school. So that was kind of a neat trip, but then as I got older, my lower legs and feet swell so bad, and I also get the Epcot, they call it, or some people say Epcot, some people say Disney rash, and it is a red rash on my lower legs. And if you know, you know. If you don't, go look it up. It's terrible. So my ankles and my feet swell, and then I get the lower rash from my shins down to my ankles. It looks horrible, and it's caused not only from the heat and I'm just not made for maybe the ocean side coast stuff. Of course, Orlando's not on the coast, but it's still close to the ocean. I'm just not, I guess my body was not made for that, because I've always had kind of trouble. Now, Suzanne and John do beautifully. Suzanne could live there. She absolutely loves it. My body is happier in New Mexico and Colorado. So it's kind of the opposite. Anyway. Yeah, so I always get kind of worried about having this, and I wish I could diminish it. I try to help it by wearing compression stockings, which I absolutely hate. Sorry, I don't say hate very often, but I do not like compression stockings. But, you know, it does help somewhat. But it doesn't help all the way, though. I still swell a little bit, and I get that rash. And it's going to be warmer, because this is February. If you go in December and January, they've had some cold spells. They've also been warm too, a little bit, but usually when we go in December, it is freezing when we go Christmas. The past few years when we've gotten to go, we freeze to death. So I thought, well, maybe if we went in February, it would warm up a little bit. And the forecast shows that it's going to be beautiful. We shall see. That's 2 weeks away, but we shall see. Anyway, that is the reason for the denim jacket. She's going to wear that for Festival of the Arts in Epcot, and I'm going to wear my hand-painted jeans that I did several years ago, and I've worn them and worn them. I wore them to Disneyland. I've worn them in Disney World, and it's just fun to have something that you made or painted to go along with the festival. So that is the reason for that. All right, lots happening today. Weather, jambalaya, painting. I've got to get busy. And I'll also share with you what I've got on. This is a sweatshirt that I got several years ago in Disney World, and it is that, not Sherpa, it's kind of velour feeling, really, really soft. But I'm telling you, it is hot, and I can't wear it very often because I'm a hot person anyway. I get hot really easily. So this is going to feel good, especially tomorrow when we're in the single digits. But that's what I've decided to wear today for Friday. All right, let's go get busy. All right, my chicken has browned, and I am breaking it apart. It looks and smells delicious. And this is just there's no salt, pepper, nothing, just the Cajun seasoning. And this is the seasoning that I'm using. Just Spice Classics. I've never heard of that. Cajun seasoning. Anyway, I've had that on hand for a while, and I've never used it because I don't do many Cajun dishes. But anyway, oh gosh, it smells good. So, now that we've got the chicken broken up, we're ready to do the sausage and peppers. Alright, so into this, I had a can of Italian tomatoes. And we had gotten pizza the other day, and they give us this Roma crushed red pepper. And it calls for red pepper, so I just opened one of those and put it in because it wanted just like a half teaspoon of those. And then I seasoned with pepper. I used this mixed peppercorn container where you just twist it, and some salt, and I just use salt that I have around the house. 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce, a half teaspoon of this green Tabasco. It said hot pepper sauce, but I love the green Tabasco as my hot pepper sauce. I'm gonna put just a dash of oregano, even though it didn't call for it. And I have my 1.25 cups of uncooked white rice. I'm ready to cut up my sausage, and it said andouille sausage, which I don't know exactly what that is, other than it just said pork sausage. And I usually buy the beef sausage, but today I did the Polska kielbasa made with pork, turkey, and beef. I don't know if that's a good sausage or not. And then the other day I already cut up my veggies, my celery, my onions, and my green bell peppers. So they're ready to go. And then we're also going to put in some garlic. And I've cheated. I don't have the regular garlic, but I like the roasted garlic, so I'm going to put some of that in with my sausage when I brown it. So over here, it asked for peanut oil, but my store only had 1 gallon of peanut oil, and I thought, I'm not going to buy that because I just won't use it. So I'm heating some olive oil in here, and as soon as I get my sausage cut up, I will be able to put that in there. So everything is going for the jambalaya. Also getting ready to make a roux, and I just heated a little bit of butter. I think I had a tablespoon, maybe a little over a tablespoon of butter, and I heated it in the microwave in my little cup that I always use. And I'll put some flour in and make a roux with that, and that will be ready to pour in when I get everything into the crock pot. So I hope it will be good. This is a new recipe I've never tried. All right, we're gonna put in our garlic and let it go for a bit. I really like it when garlic cooks for just a second before you put your other stuff in. Just like that smell, oh my word. And I know I probably should use real garlic, but I'm lazy in those times of using real garlic. Okay, and then we're going to add our sausage. And I cut up my sausage. I'm only using half of one, so I cut it up into halves because I feel like that will be easier to eat, even though I'm sure the whole sausage is what you're probably supposed to do. But anyway, we're gonna do the halves. Oops, sorry. Missed a couple. We're going to give these time to brown up while I clean up what I've done so far. I'm a cooking clean person. We'll give those a go. I put some Cajun seasoning on the sausages as well as the hamburger. I put some Cajun seasoning on the sausages, like it said to do for the chicken. Really supposed to do the chicken a little bit differently. You're supposed to cut it up like pieces, but I like for my chicken to be super tender, so I went ahead and did the chicken this morning while I was getting ready. So we're getting this all browned up. Wait till it gets just a little bit more brown, and then we'll add it to. I stirred up the chicken with the canned tomatoes and the seasonings, and it looks and smells really good so far. So now I'm going to do the roux. Like I said, I've got some butter here in my little cup, and I'm going to put a little bit of the chicken broth in here so that we can make a good roux. Thickening ingredient is always really good, I know. I put a couple tablespoons of flour in here, and I'm going to put this over the sink so that I can stir it up. All right, I put the little sausage leftovers in Ziploc so we can have them some other time. I'm going to freeze these because I don't know exactly when I'm going to use them. You know what? I didn't cut them in half. Let me take them back out and cut them in halves instead of keep them in the rounds. Because I just think it's easier to eat when they're in halves. Okay, let me do that real quick and then I'll put these in. I think the sausages look nice and brown. And so, let's go add these to the chicken. So I ended up putting 4 tablespoons of flour in here with my butter and my chicken broth to make this roux. And I think that makes it look really, really creamy. So I think that'll be very, very good. All right, here's what it looks like with the sausages in with the chicken. So we'll give that a stir for a minute. Anybody out there ever make jambalaya? You have a special recipe? Tell me about peanut oil. Those of you that cook, I'm not a great cook. I cook because I have to. But tell me if peanut oil is a necessity. I just always use olive oil. I've used sesame oil in my Asian cooking, but I've never done peanut oil. So, somebody tell me about peanut oil. All right, now I put a little more olive oil into the pan over here. I'm heating it up and we'll get those veggies. I love that crusty stuff on the bottom. So we'll get our veggies in here and just put our onions, our bell pepper green, and our celery in here. We're going to let these cook up for just a minute. I do think I'm going to add just a little salt and pepper to these as they're cooking. And then we'll be ready to add these to the hot pot. I love recipes where you're just throwing things in and there's not a ton of prep work. I mean, this took a little bit of time the other day to get all these cut up, but it's not bad. These skillets that I use, I have both of my mother's aluminum skillets, or excuse me, stainless steel skillets. I don't know why I said aluminum. Anyway, stainless steel skillets. They are old and they cook beautifully and they also clean up like a dream. All I have to do, if I've got some junk here at the bottom, all I have to do is put it in the sink with a little bit of Dawn and some hot water for about 30 minutes and it comes out beautifully clean. So I love my mom's stainless steel cookware. I got a load of towels to do today, so I got my towels out of the dryer and I just wondered if any of y'all use these dryer balls. I have some light colored ones for my light clothing and then the dark ones for the regular clothing. These were penguins. I don't necessarily know why they were penguins. I think I ordered both of them on Amazon and I just cannot dry without dryer balls. All right, let's go hang these up in the bathroom. AI picks up on everything, so DHC, if you're listening, please make some more of your head wrap towels. I have had this one forever. It is just wonderful for hair and it's nice and long and I can hang it up over here on the other side of the towel rack and I only use this on my hair. It is just wonderful. And yes, I'm one of those people that when I hang up my towels, they have to hang straight. If one of them is off, which my husband, some of his will be hanging down here and then up here, I have to straighten the towels. They have to hang right. And are you like me? I have to have a body washcloth and a face washcloth. I cannot use the same washcloth. I know, that's weird. And then I also keep a rag in my shower for wiping down the shower. I'm the last one to shower each night, so I wipe down. Now, my husband will wipe down too. He doesn't leave it, all covered up. And our tub is huge. It's just huge. And I hardly ever take a tub bath. I do sometimes, but we have a shower and it's a tub shower combo and I have to wipe up the walls every day, which drives me crazy. And then I use a Melaleuca. It's a tub and tile thing and daily shower cleaner thing to do my cleanup of my shower. But anyway, yeah, I have a rag just for cleaning up the shower too. So everything's cleaned up. I just need to put up my curling straightener. I just said two things at once. My straightener, which I sometimes do use for curling. Everything's kept in one drawer. My dryer and my curling. Because I cannot stand to have anything on the cabinets when I come in here every day. Everything has to be straightened up. And yes, I make my bed daily. It is made and done. It's just a feeling of accomplishment, and it also makes your house look so nice and neat when everything is in place and in order. I'm a bit OCD. I know it, and I know sometimes it drives my family crazy, but that is who I am. That is how I have to have everything done. All right, let's get these veggies into the crock pot. So it took 2 containers of my chicken broth because I know when I put this rice in, it's going to thicken it up some. And I will add my roux as soon as all this gets kind of blended together. I hope it will be good. Okay, let's stir in the roux. And I hope that will be enough roux to also thicken it up and make it nice and hearty. I'm going to wait until about an hour before my husband and I eat before I put the rice in, because I don't like for it to just get really soggy. And this will also have time to come to a boil before I put the rice in, and I hope it will be good. All right, let's go paint. All right, I had to make a quick run to go down to our pharmacy and get my husband's and my medicine, and that was ready, so yay. Got that done. Then I went to the mail and got what was left in there. And then I went to the Dollar General, and the hearts are always gone really quick. So I got 4 bags of these because once a year, I absolutely love them. I can have about 10 a day and be happy. And if I'm going to be stuck in the snow, why not? And I can share with Suzanne or my sister or something. But anyway, yeah. Okay, y'all. The snow has started. It's already started collecting on the sides. And it's flurrying. But you probably can't tell. It's hard to see. But yeah, it has begun, and we're going to have a problem. It is out of the north. It is freezing cold and windy, 18 degrees. And if we get too much snow, we will not be able to get out because it blows up around our garage. So we could be in for the duration, which could be past Monday. Because if it snows a lot and the temperature doesn't get above, then we are going to be inside. Because it's happened before, not a lot, but it has happened. Whew. So anyway, I got everything done. I emptied my trash. I wanted to do that before I couldn't get out. And we got our medicine, got that. I already went to the store the other day, have plenty of food in the freezer. The other thing to worry about is power outages, and you never know about that. But anyway, yeah, I think we're going to be in for it. It was supposed to start at 4 o'clock, and it's 2:30, so it has already begun. Like I said, you can't really tell. It's very fine right now, but I think the majority of the big snow is going to be tomorrow. So if it's already collecting on the sides of the road and on the grass, then that means whatever falls is going to stay and be there. So first true winter So far, we're just covered on the ground, but looks like it's coming pretty slowly, and I'm kind of glad about that for today. And it's about 4 o'clock. Well, good morning. It is Saturday, and this is what we're waking up to. We really haven't had much snow yet. There might be an inch or so, but not as much as we thought we would get. However, this afternoon it's supposed to be more, so we'll see what happens. Okay, everyone, it's still Saturday, and I've been working on Suzanne's back panel of her denim jacket, and the lower portion is done. I'm ready to move up to top panel, which is back yoke. So I'm going to be moving up to this area right here, and this is where I plan to do the crazy flowers, I think. So back panel done, and here's a little close-up of each thing. Dinah the cat, Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I call him the smoking caterpillar. I really don't know if he has a name or not. That's just what I say. The white rabbit, Carrot, White Rabbit's house, a little frame with tulips, the talking doorknob, Alice looking in the mirror as she's supposed to be falling down the hole, the drink me potion, the eat me and take me tarts, the Cheshire cat, the walrus and the oysters, the heart tree where the roses that were white are being painted red, and that happens to be what I have on the screen of my iPad for inspiration. The card men, and I don't know what they're called either, I just say the card guards or whatever. And then of course the Queen of Hearts. So everything's done, and I'm ready to move on. So after sitting here and thinking about this for a minute, I think I'm going to go to the front for a little while and kind of get a different perspective going on, and then decide if we want to do the top yoke. I think Suzanne does want the flowers up there, but I need to think about the flowers and how I want them to look. So going to the front will help me kind of think about it a little bit. So this has been great fun. I just have really enjoyed it. It's been a challenge, which I know I've told you I just love challenges. So anyway, yeah, I think that would be better to go to the front and see about doing the Mad Hatter and the March Hare on the top yokes, and then on the pockets, teapots and teacups, things like that. Anyway, and waiting for the snow. I haven't looked out yet. I need to go look out and see if we've got any more snow yet, but this is great. What a great day to work on this. My natural light isn't wonderful because it's so cloudy outside, but having this skylight is really helpful in this room to get my painting done. So anyway, yeah. To tell you about how the jambalaya worked last night, I'll insert a picture of the final. I didn't go ahead and do it because my husband was home, and I just didn't think about taking another picture of the final product, but we like it. It's a little spicy, but that's okay. The spice kind of tastes good on these cold days. So yeah, we're gonna have leftovers of it for probably not quite 2 days. We'll see. But my husband said he liked it fine, and today I think I'm going to add a piece of avocado toast to go with it to kind of give it a breakup of taste. But yeah, the jambalaya was good, and it was just an all recipes recipe. You can go to all recipes. I think they're one of the best, or for me, what I've looked at, the best online recipe places. I use recipes from other places too, but I just always kind of depend on all recipes because they always work. They always work out really well. All right, I'm going to take just a tiny break, and then we'll go to the front and see what we can do on the front of the jacket. Well, here is our current situation, and it is snowing pretty good. No more light stuff. It is really coming down now. And my niece that was in Dallas said they've already closed schools, or her school, their schools, for Monday. And I think it's like 2 or 3 degrees outside. It's so pretty though when it's coming down. So pretty though is that it's not drifting today. It's just kind of a straight down, so that's kind of nice. But anyway, like I said, it's about 5 o'clock, so not as bad. We'll see what happens this evening.